Welcome back, FLR community. The FLR airdrop is just around the corner, and in this video, we're going to talk about everything that you need to know. So last month, FIP01, that's the FLR Improvement Proposal, the very first one passed on the FLR network with an overwhelming majority. This proposal included a number of different changes, including the reduction of inflation, but one of the main changes that was actually proposed was the change in distribution method. Now, we obviously know that the initial airdrop, the token distribution event, occurred in January, and that accounted for 15% of the FLR that's intended for distribution. The remaining 85% was initially supposed to be distributed to the XRP holders at the time of the snapshot in 2020. Now, you can completely disregard that now because this proposal passed and the distribution method has since changed. All future FLR distribution will be based on how much WFLR you hold. And we're going to talk all about this in a recent blog. But first, let's have a look at some of the FLR team's analysis of this proposal. Now, as you can see, there was overwhelming support for this proposal. 93% of those who voted actually approved this, with only 7% opposing it. Moving along, we have a very interesting statistic here. 17% of the FLR holders voted and 83 did not vote. And that's quite a big margin of difference, if you ask me. Now, don't get me wrong, I would like to see this number much higher, but if I'm honest, we also have to account for the exchanges who hopefully did not actually participate in the vote. And we also have various exclusions too, which we're going to look at next. As you can see here, 89.4% of all of the votes that were cast was actually from the FLR community, and only 10.6% represented the FLR team. And I think this is very important to highlight that this was a community-driven decision. Next, we have the different wallet sizes for the people that voted, and you can see that the majority of people actually had less than 10,000 FLR. These people accounted for the biggest amount or the biggest influence on the outcome of FIP01. And we can see a percentage difference between the various wallet sizes here, and it seems that those that were holding less FLR did not seem in favor of the proposal as much as those with a larger or a bigger amount of FLR. So let's switch things up and actually look at this summary and, more importantly, the implementation. The FLR community has approved the first FIP01 with a 93% majority and a 70% voter turnout, as we just went over. The proposal was designed to better align FLR's tokenomics with the ambitions of the Foundation to address the blockchain's utility and interoperability issues. The first of the 36 FLR drop distributions will be available to claim on the 17th of March. That's the first date to remember. Now, just on a small tangent, you've got to remember that this distribution method is going to be so much more inclusive, and it's going to bring people from all different communities that are wanting to participate in this network. Now, I believe the FLR community is predominantly made up of XRP holders, and it would be absolutely incredible to expand the scope of the project and bring more people in from other communities. And that's something that I'm really looking forward to, the diversification of this community in particular. So here's something important to note. We've obviously had the 15% distribution occur, and that means that 85% of the distribution is actually going to be distributed going forward as always. This is going to be done over 36 installments, and that's going to equate to around 676 million FLR. Now, here's the important thing. Every 30 days, each installment will be proportionally allocated to wallets that hold wrapped FLR, that's WFLR. The tokens must be claimed within 90 days or they will be burnt. So you may be wondering how this WFLR is defined. Is it a monthly snapshot? Well, no, it's actually going to be calculated based on 3 random blocks chosen from the 23 days prior to the distribution. So I'm going to go through this with a nice visual that they've created to help break it down in just a moment. Now, here's what I was looking for. As you can see, there is a chart here, and I'm just going to read this text briefly. Within every 30 days of the FLR drop distribution cycle, the number of tokens a wallet can claim is based on its average WFLR holdings from 3 random blocks during the calculation period. The tokens will be available to claim from day 30 and must be claimed within 90 days. That's the summary, right? So after each distribution cycle, you can see that the first 7 days are disregarded. You can do whatever you want with your FLR in that period. It's not really going to affect your future distribution or the next month's distribution. Within the next 23 days, there's going to be 3 random blocks which are going to be selected, which will account for your WFLR. These are going to be averaged, and this is basically going to allow the smart contract to identify how much WFLR you had on average between this period. That is what your FLR drop will actually be based on. Of course, on the 30th day, that's when you're able to claim, and then the cycle starts again. So here's something to take note. We obviously know that the very first FLR drop distribution will occur on March the 17th of 2023, that is. And as you can see, there are 35 subsequent airdrop dates listed below, and these are 30 days apart. So the actual FLR airdrop is going to finish on the 30th of January, and that's in 2026. So it's quite a long time away, and we can look forward to these distributions every 30 days for quite some time. Before we wrap up here, there's something important to note at the bottom, that the FLR team are not eligible for the FLR drop distributions. No FLR related entity, employee, or founder may use their token allocation to earn part of the token distribution. Every team member has signed a legal agreement to ensure that this does not happen and will actively opt out their wallet from the distribution. This means that any WFLR in the FLR team's wallet will not be factored into the distribution calculation, and these wallets will not be able to claim any FLR from the FLR drop distributions. So that is pretty much it. We've got a lot to look forward to right up until the very start of January in 2026. The FLR drop is just around the corner. I hope you're all as excited as I am. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.